beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yes, it is that time of year. It's December. Can you believe it? It's December.
Take a look at the 5 and 10. Listen
All right.
once again.
Howdy, it's Friday. It's time
candy
for lunch
canes
with Dad. Let's get started. This is going to be so much fun. Let's see. We've already played the Christmas music. It's December. Let's see what's going on today. First thing we got to do is we got to say thank you to our partners from celebrationshirts.com. They sponsor Lunch with Dad. If you haven't taken a look at them, go over to their Facebook page. Look at celebrationshirts.com. They got a lot of really, really cool shirts. Oh, shirts, yeah, that's what they do. Shirts at celebrationshirts.com. We've even got a store over there that has some really, really cool what's the one? Brain's already fried. It's Friday. Really, really cool designs. And so go over to celebrationshirts.com. Look at our store. If you're looking, we got a discount, 10% off if you use the code SFN. Or just look down in the comments below, and the link will be down there. Go to celebrationshirts.com. Celebrationshirts.com and take a look at them. Anyway, so we are ready to start. One thing I want to ask you to do today, like we do every day. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell the girls this. They're listening to me over on this thing over here. We're going to give away a calendar this week. I didn't even get it ready. Where's Dad's calendar? Whoop. Here's the calendar. Beautiful, beautiful calendar. Let's see, it's December. Let's look at this December picture. This is the December 2017 calendar. You get this calendar today, you can have it on your wall. Well, not tonight. We can't get it to you that quick. But you can have it on your wall in a few days, and it's even got the December 2017 calendar right on it. Beautiful, beautiful pictures all the way through. This year we went with the theme WDW After Dark, Walt Disney World After Dark. So all the pictures are After Dark pictures, and they're just incredible. You got to have one of these. So if you haven't got it, we'll have a link down in the comments below. Go over to our store and pick some up. They're just really, really, really pretty. All right. So what are we going to do today? Well, let's just look. Got to have a plan, right? You're going to talk about Disney World. You got to have a plan. Here's today's plan. Written right down here, black and white. Today's plan, we're going to start out with Dad's top 5 favorite attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So you were going to talk about the 5 attractions at Disney Hollywood Studios. Man, the brain's not working yet. Come on. Then I have a confession to make. I'm going to make a confession. It's going to be good. Then we'll do the news. Like we always do, every week we do the news. Then we're going to talk about how to stay dry at Walt Disney World. And then we'll go to the questions. We have a bunch of questions because we were off for last week. So we got 2 weeks worth of questions. And we're going to go through the questions that have come in on our Ask Dad page. And then we'll answer your questions. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I will answer all your questions. We'll stay here until we're done with all the questions. So put questions down in the comments, and we'll answer them in just a little bit, probably about 45 minutes. Like we always do, we get there about 45, 50 minutes after the hour. We'll answer all of your questions, and then I'll have some final thoughts. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. Let's see what we want to start out with first. First thing I want to say is we got something new this week. Started out Bing Crosby, beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I'm big in music. I love music. And this week, I've got a whole bunch of it. I've got a whole bunch of music that I'm going to play this week. So I thought, well, why don't we create a playlist over on our YouTube channel where you could follow along, get all of the music, or go back and listen to all the songs? Because there's some, I got the best music. So we're going to go through, and we created a playlist over on our YouTube channel. The link's going to be down below. And you can just see all of the songs that we're playing today. It's something we're just going to test and see what happens. But it's pretty cool. In fact, you ought to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you don't. Go over there and subscribe to it so you can get all the updates. We we've been cutting up all the Lunch with Dad the questions and putting them down into our YouTube channel. There's 400 or 500 videos there, so just go ahead over there and check out our YouTube channel. It's pretty good. Not great yet, but we're working on it. We're going to get better at it. That's one of the things we're going to do in 2018 is get a lot better at video. All right, so the first thing we want to cover today, I've been doing a series on Dad's top 5 things, top number of things, and this week I'm doing the top 5 things I love at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Last week or 2 weeks ago I did Epcot. The week before I did Magic Kingdom. Next week we'll do Animal Kingdom. But this week we're going to talk about Disney's Hollywood Studios. So what are my 5 favorite attractions at Disney Hollywood Studios? Well, there's only 7 or 8. No, just kidding. There's not a whole lot of attractions at Hollywood Studios. And being an adult, there's really not a whole lot of attractions for adults. I haven't had kids in a long time, so I kind of missed the kids' rides, but for me, the top 5 attractions at Hollywood Studios are, in reverse order, let's see, we're going to start with, what is that? Muppet Vision. I love the Muppets. It's time to play. I should have gotten that music out too. It's time to light the lights. I just love watching the Muppet Show. I grew up with the Muppet Show. It was on. I wasn't a kid, but kind of in my formative adult years, the Muppet Show. We always. I just loved the Muppet Show. So I love going to. I've seen the Muppet Vision show so many times. Here it comes, Snuggums, and I can tell you what the old men up in the balcony are going to say, but I still love going to the Muppet Vision show. In fact, Mrs. Mom and I, when we were there just last month, that's one of the things we had to do was the Muppet Show. So that is the first of the attractions that I really love at Disney Hollywood Studios. Number 2 is the Tower of Terror. I know there's a lot of people that really, the tower, and for me too, I don't do well with going up and down. I can't ride Splash Mountain because of the big drop, but I still like the Tower of Terror. Even though the drop makes my stomach go, there's something about it. It's one of those like watching a car wreck, you just gotta kind of do it. You gotta watch, you can't get away from it. But every time we go, we do the Tower of Terror. We did skip it this time, but that was due to some physical problems we were having. But we always do the Tower of Terror. My number 3 favorite attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios is Star Tours. The adventure continues. I'm a big fan of Star Wars. Since the first movie came out in 1977, my senior year in high school, I watched it 9 times that year. I was hooked from the beginning. I was hooked on Star Wars. And I really like the Star Tours ride. Even though it makes me a little sick sometimes, but I really enjoy Star Tours and seeing now that they've got C-3PO in there, and I always want to be the Rebel Spy. Mrs. Mom was a Rebel Spy once, but I've never gotten to be the Rebel Spy. So that's my number 4 favorite ride at Hollywood Studios is Star Tours. All right. And let's see, what have I forgotten? Oh, wait, that was number 3. This is number 4. I knew there was one I was forgetting. The number 4 favorite ride at Hollywood Studios is Toy Story. Oh, man, Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story. I could ride those rides all day long, just going around, pulling on that shooting and pulling and shooting and pulling and shooting and pulling. I can get I'm good at that. I'm good at Toy Story. I always beat everybody in the car. I beat Mrs. Mom, when I'm playing it, Mrs. Mom is not the best at those kind of games, but, so Toy Story Mania, Toy Story Midway Mania. I think it's Toy Story Mania in Orlando. Anyway, Toy Story Mania is my number 4 favorite ride. Now, these are probably in reverse order because it's like my number 2 favorite ride. But so that brings us to the number 1 ride. I told you there's going to be a lot of music, so we're going to start it with this one. Yeah, that's the music they play in the intro to the. Why is my brain's not working? Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm not a roller coaster guy, but there's something about that ride. It's so smooth. It is just the smoothest roller coaster I've ever been on. Even the loops. You start out going through the loops and the barrel roll, and I just love the music playing in the background, the talk about going down the speedway, the announcer in the background, 5, 4, 3, here we go. Rock and Roller Coaster, it's just my favorite ride at Hollywood Studios. So those are my 5 favorite rides, attractions at Hollywood Studios. What is yours? Put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear what your favorite attractions are at Hollywood Studios. All right. Let's move on. All right. I promised you an apology this week. All right.
I'm sorry. So sorry.
That's an oldie but goodie song. Please accept my apology. I messed up. I messed up pretty bad. We found out yesterday. We were getting ready for this, and there's a question coming about the minivans and where they're located. And I've been saying for weeks, probably since mid-October, that the minivans were at all the resorts. Well, I think that we found out that when the news came out several weeks ago, I thought it was all the resorts, and apparently it was just the deluxe resorts. So I've been saying that it's all resorts, but apparently they're just now at all the deluxe resorts. This week you're going to have in the news there's a little deal about the Old Key West. The minivans are going into Old Key West. So just all of the deluxe resorts have minivans. I messed up. I don't usually do that. So I wanted to come in and say, I'm sorry, I messed up. This is something that we usually catch. That's the team usually catches it, but they believed me because I'm always right. But Dad was wrong. Oh no, Dad was wrong. I will say, talking about minivans, that hey, Disney, let's see. You've only done the deluxe resorts, the place where they have multiple transportation options. Why don't you come down and do some of the moderates and maybe even start the values next? Let's get the resorts that us normal people can stay in. Why don't we get minivans over there too? That would be kind of cool, Disney. Come on, time to move on. All right, here we go. That's enough about that. I messed up. Sorry. I'll try to do better. All right, so the news of the week. What do we got this week in news? For years and years and years, for as long as it's been around, one of the things about the Disney Cruise Line was they didn't have a lot of discounts. Occasionally they'd throw a little discount, maybe an onboard credit for a discount, a room credit for your discount, not for a discount, but a room credit for a booking. And so travel agents for years had just been saying, nah, there are no discounts for Disney Cruise. Well, guess what? Disney has started discounting the Disney cruises. The couple last few days, there have been a couple of discounts that came out for the Disney Cruise Line. Disney is doing a big push to fill all of their rooms for the cruise, for the parks. There's been a lot of discounts for the parks this year. So this is part of ongoing effort by Disney to fill up their space, fill the space. So if you're looking to go on a Disney cruise, get in touch with our partners at Destinations to Travel. Link will be down in the comments below, and have them. They know about Disney cruises. They're Disney cruise experts, and they can help you get your Disney cruise booked and see if there is a discount on the cruises you want. I think it was about 4 or 6 weeks ago, we talked about the cruises out of New York City having a discount. But now there's cruises, especially into the Caribbean. There's several cruises right now that have discounts available. So give them a shout and see what we can do. Okay, there's nothing new there. Next item on the news. Moonlight Magic. Now, that was announced, I think, yesterday. This is something for Disney Vacation Club members. If you're a Disney Vacation Club member, Disney offers you a special deal called Moonlight Magic. It's free. It's where you can get into the parks on select days. Now, it's not a lot of them. There's like 10 or 11 of them for the whole year. But you can get into the park one evening after the park closes. You can stay in the park extra hours. It doesn't cost anything to DVC members, but you get to stay in the park and experience the park, experience some rides. There are character greetings. There are snacks, special snacks. This is one of the perks of being a Disney Vacation Club member. You can only go to one park one time, and you have to make reservations. So if you're a Disney Vacation Club member, you probably already know, but it's something you can check out. That's Moonlight Magic. This is the second year they've done that. The NBA Experience, they announced some of the attractions that are going to be in the NBA Experience. Papa Shot, Dream Dunk, Big Shot, You Make the Call, Dream Court. They announced those, and they also announced that the NBA Experience will open in summer of 2019. So if you're looking forward to the NBA Experience, look for it in 2019. All right, that's the news of the week. Pretty slow week for news, and that's 2 weeks. There wasn't any other news during the 2 weeks, so that's 2 weeks worth of news. Just boop, 3 little things. All right. So next, I'm sorry, I got an itch. Not good, Dad. Not good. All right. So next thing, we're going to talk about how to stay dry at Walt Disney World. Okay, so we got more music here.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious
Bing Crosby.
feeling, I'm happy again.
Singing in the rain. How do you stay dry at Walt Disney World? Well, let's start out by talking about how Mrs. Mom and I stayed dry on our trip in November. End of October, 1st of November. We didn't get wet at all. A whole week there, and we didn't get wet at all. How did we do it? It didn't rain. It was pretty easy. It didn't rain, so we didn't have much problem staying dry that week. But, you know, that's very unusual. It rains in Florida a lot. It's not unusual for it to rain, especially in the summertime, June through September, for it to rain every day, several days in a row. Afternoon showers, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a quick shower will come. Sometimes it rains for days and days, but it rains a lot in Florida. So it's kind of important that you have a plan to stay dry during the rain when it gets wet at Walt Disney World. So what do? Well, some tips from Dad. Number one is bring extra shoes. Way back, I think it was our second trip with the kids. We went in December. The first thing we were going to do was Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Just going to have, we got into town in the afternoon. We were going to do the party in the evening and then start our trip off right at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And guess what? It rained all night long. Well, number one thing I say about rain is poncho up and soldier on. We put our ponchos on. We started doing all this stuff. It wasn't raining hard, but it was raining enough to where we were getting pretty wet, even with our ponchos on. It was cold too, so we had our sweatshirts on, and everybody from about here down on their arms was all wet. The bottom of our pants were all wet, and our shoes were just soaked. Well, I'd only brought one pair of shoes. So my shoes were wet. The next morning when we got up to go to the next part, my shoes were wet. It rained all day that day too. And it rained all day the next day too. So we had 3 days of rain. And I was wearing wet shoes those whole 3 days and the next day. And it took like 2 days for my shoes to dry out because I'd always put them on. There was just no chance for them to dry out. So one thing you want to have is an extra pair of shoes. I know Stephanie, my assistant that's doing all the comments down below, she said she brings 5 pairs of shoes. I said, how big a suitcase do you carry? She says, no, there's sandals in there. But anyway, Mrs. Mom always takes at least 2 pairs of shoes, and if we are going to church on Sunday, it'd be 3 pairs of shoes. So bring extra shoes. Best thing I can tell you to do. Next is when it starts to rain, duck into a gift shop, duck into a restaurant, duck into one of those long rides. Especially this is those summertime quick showers. Just get in somewhere where it's dry. Those things usually go by in about 15, 20, 30 minutes. Eat some lunch. Just plan some time in the dry. There's plenty of places around Walt Disney World where you can stay dry. The next thing, when it comes to rides, there are some rides there that will get you wet. Splash Mountain sometimes gets people wet. Cali River Rapids. Now that one will get you wet, especially when it comes to shoes. One of the things you might want to do on Cali River Rapids, I don't care if you want to get a little wet, one of the things you might want to do is kind of wear some sandals or something, water shoes, some kind of water shoes, and take those and wear them just for that ride. Because usually there's water down in the bottom, and especially after you go through the rapids, there'll be water down in the bottom of the boat in Cali River Rapids. That one's going to get you wet. Throw on a poncho, throw on the water shoes, take your socks off, but be ready, be prepared. I'm all about being prepared. Be prepared for getting wet at Cali River Rapids. A couple others that you might get a little bit wet on. I know we got a little sprinkle on Frozen Ever After when you're going down the rapids a little bit. Got a little wet on Frozen Ever After. Pirates. There are a couple places where you get a little splash in Pirates. And the spitting camels in the Aladdin spitting camels. Of course, if you got kids, they are going to want to go to Casey Jr. Splash Pad where lots and lots of water. You got the Epcot, the fountains that shoot up, the splash pads around Epcot. So there are lots of places to get wet at Walt Disney World. Just be prepared. Pack in your backpack. Pack extra socks. Mrs. Mom's always got 2 or 3 pairs of socks in our backpack. Bring baggies. You can always put wet clothes in baggies if you need to change clothes. Something to keep things dry. Bring a towel. I know why would you bring a towel? Say you're going to ride Splash Mountain. One thing about Splash Mountain is when you get into the boat, you step on the seat. And a lot of times those seats get dirty with people's feet. They might get a little wet and people's feet stepping on them. They leave dirt. Wipe that off before you get in with the towel. Use the towel to dry off if you get wet. But bring a towel. Take one out of the room and take it with you. That's something a little way to be prepared. When all else fails, if you get too wet, there's a gift shop on every corner, and most of the gift shops has cool clothes that you can buy. So that's another way you can stay dry. But The bottom line is it rains, it's wet at Walt Disney World, and you just need to be prepared. Think about it before you go. How are you going to stay dry at Walt Disney World? All right, next. Here we go. Questions. We're up to questions. So if you have a question, we've already got one, it looks like, came in. If you've got a question, put them down in the comments, and I'll get to them here in just a few minutes once I get through with the 8 or 9 that I've got for today. Also, I forgot to do this earlier. If you would, if you don't mind, hit that like button. Hit the like button, the love, hit that like button and share. Share this with your friends. That really helps us out. You can make comments at any time. Oh, Dad, you're boring today. Wake up, Dad. Dad, you look so cool today. Hey, I like the beard. You trimmed it up. You're looking cool today, Dad. Any kind of comments you want to put in there. Any kind of questions. We'll answer your questions here in just a little bit. All right. So we are ready to move on. Here is our first question. This one comes from Lee in Illinois. She says, we are staying at the All-Star Movies and we will be flying into the Sanford Airport. I realize that Magic Express does not go to this airport, but we chose Sanford because it was a direct flight with no layovers, which we liked. Would you recommend a cab, Uber, or renting a car to get to our resort? We will be there a whole week. Thanks. Well, let's just see. What would I say? Let's let the Pointer Sisters tell you.
I'm riding in your car. You turn on the radio. You're pulling me close.
Yes, I would be riding in my car. I'm big about having my own car at Walt Disney World. I have a whole page about a car at Disney World. The link will be down in the comments. I like having a car at Disney World. I know Magical Express, we went in November. I rented a car because I'm from Oklahoma where you drive everywhere. And it's just one of my pet peeves. I want to be in charge of the driving. So I would rent a car. Now, you can also do not Uber. Uber is not allowed to go to Sanford Airport. By the way, Sanford is a town just north of Orlando. It's about 50 miles from Walt Disney World. So the Sanford Airport, not a lot, but a couple of airlines go into Sanford. Usually you find cheaper prices into the Sanford Airport. But yeah, Magical Express doesn't go there. Uber doesn't go there, but Lyft does. And you can look at Lyft. You can look at shuttles. There are a bunch of shuttles that run from Sanford to Walt Disney World. So the shuttles will cost you about $100 to $150 each way for a family of 4. Depending on what kind of shuttle you want. If you want a little fancier shuttle, it might be a little bit better than that, a town car or something like that. But about $100 to $150 each way. So $200 to $300 round trip. Lyft is about $50 each way. So you can get that 100 to, depending on how many people you have, between $100 and $300. Now, renting a car, Alamo car service I use, rental car service I use, just 2 I use. They're usually of the majors. They're usually one of the cheapest, but they have cars for about $350 a week. So you can rent I priced it out, $350 a week. That includes taxes and fees. So it's $310 plus taxes and fees to a total of about $350 a week. That was for a mid-size car. So the bottom line is you can't do Uber, but you could do Lyft, you could do a shuttle, or you could do a rental car. I prefer a rental car. I like being able to drive myself around and not being dependent on Disney transportation. But whichever you prefer, if you're fine with Disney transportation, then just do Lyft or something. Save the money and do the Lyft. But that's what you got to look at. All right, there we go. Next question. This one is from Heather in Saratoga, New York. Hello, Dad. Hello, Heather. My family is visiting Disney for the first time in June. Congratulations. We arrive on June 26th and leave on July 3rd. We have 3-day passes and would like to spend 1 day at each the Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot. We are also taking our 2 older kids to Universal for Harry Potter 1 day and doing Bippity Boppity Boutique in Disney Springs for our younger 2. Would love any suggestions and advice you may have. Thanks. Heather, you're going to Disney World. That's so much fun. I love the idea of a first-time trip. I'm all about getting those kids started on the love of Walt Disney, sharing the love of Walt Disney. In fact, I know this is a shameless plug, but I think that the number one thing you should do is go get my book. Yeah, I know it's my book, but this is what my book is all about. It's about planning a trip to Walt Disney World, especially if you don't know about Walt Disney World. It's really written for first-time guests. So first off, go over to Amazon.com. The link will be down in the comments. Go to Amazon.com and get Dad's Simple Fun Magic Guide. Let me just show you what it looks like. Let me grab mine right here. Dad's Simple Fun Magic Guide to Walt Disney World Planning. Go grab my book, and it will show you, it will help you put together a plan. You need a plan. First-time visitors need a plan. The book is all about planning a trip and how you can plan your trip from right now all the way through time to come home. And every step you need to take is in the book. And it will help you figure out what you want to do. It's not my plan for Walt Disney World. It's your plan for Walt Disney World. So that's the bottom. That's the main thing. When you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World, when you're looking at what to do, look at the things you want to do. If Space Mountain is something that makes you uneasy, don't go on it. Don't plan it. Just because somebody said, oh, you got to write it, doesn't mean you have to write it. Do what you want to do. We talk about this all the time, but my assistants are foodies. And they're always talking about going to places like Tiffin's, and I don't know, Tiffin's just comes to mind right off the bat. It's a restaurant in Animal Kingdom. They're talking about going to Tiffin's. I looked at the menu at Tiffin's and said, I ain't going there. So we're all different. And that's one of the things that the book talks about, how we're all different. And it's important for you to make a plan with what you want to do. So that's where I'd start. Be sure you get a plan. Make a plan. Have a plan. Don't just go there, and you can't do it like you would do a normal vacation. We're just going to relax. You have to go with a plan. So get a plan, make a plan, and have fun. Just have fun. That's the bottom line. You need 2 things. You need a plan, and you need to have fun. Boom. That's it. That's what you need to do. All right, here we go. Next question. Jessica from San Antonio says, hi there. It's another first-timer question, by the way. Hi there. And so instead of planning my entire first time ever at the Magic Kingdom, also Walt Disney World for that matter, don't worry, I'll be getting buddy on. I wouldn't leave without it, and I'll have it June 30th. So would I still be able to get a birthday button? Apparently she's got a birthday while she's there. I was debating on doing their Ultimate Disney Classic VIP tour. I've done a little research and learned that you get a snack and you'll be able to ride some rides up to 7, some classic rides. Basically getting a fast pass, faster than fast pass entry. I just wonder if it's really worth the extra dollars. I know it will surely take some stress out of the day, though, or at least half of it, especially with how big the Magic Kingdom is. Okay, Jessica, first time again, you're going to Disney World. This is going to be fun. In fact, let's just play some music. Since we're talking about classic rides, what is the number 1 classic ride song you can think of?
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world.
Yes, I know that's mean. I got that in your head, and it's going to be in your head all day. That is so good. Anyway, so one of the classic rides is this Small World, and it's one of the rides listed on the page about the Ultimate Disney VIP Tour. I'll make sure I get that right. The Ultimate Disney Classics VIP Tour. Actually, I don't think this is such a great idea for a first-time visitor. Let me tell you why. This is a 4-hour tour, and you see 7 classic rides. Of those 7 classic rides, probably 5 of them you can walk on even in the end of June. If you might have a 10 or 15 minute wait. Even at that time, you could probably ride all 7 of those rides in about 2.5 or 3 hours. So it's not going to get you any more time, even though you can go right to the front of the line. So let's say Small World. That time, the line's probably 15, 20 minutes for Small World. So you're going to say 15 or 20 minutes. But you're going to have to listen. You don't go from ride to ride to ride to ride and just ride the rides. There's speeches as you go along. There's the guide will talk. Now, yes, getting to go to the front of the line in Peter Pan's Flight is a big deal, but you also can do that with FastPass. These tours, the VIP tours, the tours that they offer at Disney, are geared more towards seasoned visitors when you've been there a few times. The classic rides, if you want to go and hear the history of the rides, see how long they've been there, see when they were built, get some insight into Walt and what he was thinking when he put together the classic rides, then yeah, it's a great tour. But just to get to the front of the line, I don't think it's that good an idea. The bottom line is, and this is kind of what sums it all up, for $199, that's what the tour costs plus entry to the Magic Kingdom. $199 per person. Unless you are looking for that classic experience to find out more about those classic rides, it's just not the best use of your money or your time. It just isn't. The classic tour is great for people that are looking for the experience to talk about the classic. To get you to the front of the line, spending $200 to get to the front of the line for those 7 rides. Now, if it was going to get you Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Peter Pan's Flight, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, if it was going to get you those rides, it might be worth it. But just to get them for those classic rides, probably not the best use of your time or money. All right, next question. Here we go. Oh, before we do the next question, I want to stop and I want to take a minute. We've got a little promotion going on with Destinations to Travel. Our partners at Destinations to Travel have partnered with Disney and come up with a really, really neat promotion. If you're going to Walt Disney World in 2018, if you book between now and Monday, up to 10 of these, we've got 10 of these available. I think we've probably already booked 2 or 3 of them. But if you book between now and Monday, you can get a $100 Disney gift card just for booking between now and Monday. All you got to do is book your trip. You go to the page is going to be listed down below. You click on the link below, go over to the page, fill out the form on the page, and then Destinations to Travel will get in touch with you. You get your trip scheduled and booked and pay your deposit, and you will get, not right away, but once you've paid and once it's closer to your trip, you'll get a $100 Disney gift card. Pretty cool deal. Really, really cool deal. Just $100 free money just for booking now. If discounts come out later, they'll be able to apply the discounts. Just all you got to do is make your reservation now. There are a couple of restrictions on there. 4 nights, first time. I mean, it's only for new reservations. If you've already got a reservation, it doesn't count. So, but go over to the page that's down in the links below and look at what's available and get started. Get that $100 Disney gift card. Okay, next question. By the way, if you have a question, put it down in the comments right now. We've got like 5 more questions here, and then we've got 3 or 4, just 2 questions so far to answer. If you've got any questions about Walt Disney World, put them down in the comments, and I'll get to them here in about 10 minutes or so. All right, here we go. This one's from Marcia in Connecticut. I read about a Memory Maker CD option, which is cheaper than the actual photos, but I can't find out how to purchase it on the Disney site. Okay, Marcia, so part of the Memory Maker package is an archive disc. Now, this is only for people who have purchased the Memory Maker package, that have spent the $159, $179, $190, whatever it costs these days. I think it's $179 and $199, depending on when you buy it. It's for people that have bought the package and annual pass holders. So if you're an annual pass holder, this is part of you can get this, but you have to be part of Memory Maker. You can't, as a non-subscriber, you can't go out and buy the CD. So once you're a subscriber to Memory Maker, once you've gotten your Memory Maker all set up, when you open either the app or the Memory Maker or the PhotoPass website, it's very confusing, but the website for our Memory Maker is photopass.com. Once you get in and signed into PhotoPass, or you're on the Memory Maker, there is a tab that says Products. And you click on the Products tab, and you can find the archive disc. And you can get the archive disc right there on the website. You can order it right there on the website. Now, and it's like $25, $24.95 or something like that. You can also, if you're a member of Memory Maker, you can also download all your pictures to your hard drive. I did this just yesterday. I hadn't downloaded our pictures yet, so from our last trip. So I went over, when I was looking at this question, I went over, I haven't downloaded the pictures yet. Clicked on the download button, and within 3 minutes, I had downloaded all of the pictures from our trip. It was just really simple. Click one button, and they were downloaded to my hard drive. Now I can take them off my hard drive. I can go to Walgreens.com and order prints or whatever service you use. But I use Walgreens because my wife's sitting there, Mrs. Mom's there all the time. So that's what we use. The bottom line is, if you're a subscriber, you can have, or an annual pass holder, which are automatically subscribed. If you're a subscriber or annual pass holder, you have access to get the archive. If you're not, you don't. So you can only get the CD, the archive disc, if you are a subscriber. Okay, next question. Here we go. This one comes from Sunil in London. Can you please guide me if it is okay to visit Disney World from the 16th to the 20th of December? I'm coming from London and I don't want to get disappointed if there are too many crowds and park closures. Also, which is the best park to visit in 4 days, considering I have a 10-year-old and 6-year-old boy? Thanks, Sunil. Sunil, let's just play some Christmas music. I just got to play some Christmas music.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the
It is, the middle of December is truly the most wonderful time of the year to go to Walt Disney World. I typically go in the middle of December, the early part of that week. I usually go around the 10th or the 12th and stay for a few days. But that really is a good time to go to Walt Disney World. About crowds, if you want to know about crowds, we've got a crowd calendar that will show you what the crowds will be like. If you go to Dad's Guide to www.December-Disney-World-Crowds.html, the link will be down in the comments, you can see what the crowds will be like in December. Now, when you're talking about December 16th through 20th, it's going to start out with moderate crowds on the 16th. That means not long waits, moderately long waits. The big rides will be 30, 45 minutes. Of course, Avatar is going to be, it's going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours because but the big rides basically are going to be okay, not terrible. Small rides are going to be easy to get on. Now, As you go closer to Christmas, the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, the crowds will build a little each day, but not crazy. They're not going to be crazy. Park closures don't happen until the next week. The first day that any of the parks will be closed to new guests is Christmas Day. And there'll be a couple other days during the week of Christmas. So the 25th, the 26th, 27th, through January 1st, you might have some park closures, but you don't have that week before. There will not be any park closures during that 16th through 20th. And it's pretty easy if the crowds are too big to miss the crowds. This is something you're not going to have any problems with. The best way to deal with the crowds at the parks is to get to the parks early. Most people don't get to the parks when they open. If you're at the parks whenever they open, and you'll be miles ahead. We talk about the 9 by noon challenge. You can get 9 rides done at the Magic Kingdom by noon just by starting early. So get to the parks early and ride the busy rides first. This is part of Dad's 4 rules for dealing with crowds at the parks. Get to the parks early, ride the busy rides first, have a plan, know what you're going to do, and make it a plan where you're not running back and forth across the parks. Just have a plan and use FastPass. Know what the best rides, and we've got help for you. It's kind of late for that since you're talking about next month, but use FastPass wisely. So if you do those 4 things, you can definitely miss most of the crowds. So about which park to go on which day on which day, actually, I don't really look at that. That's something that I don't spend a lot of time on. And we've got so much we've got to do anyway. But I don't look at it day by day. I just do the overall. But you can go to touringplans.com. We'll have a link down there for touring plans. Go to touringplans.com, and at this point, you can actually, without a subscription, see what the crowds will be like during the days you'll be there. So the bottom line is, it's going to be good. It's all right. That time is a good time to go. It's not a great time to go, but it's a good time to go. Crowds won't be bad. You won't see any closures. Just enjoy. Have a great time. All right, here we go. Next question. This one comes from David in San Jose, California. Hello. I have been to Disney World 10 times. I have always stayed at a budget or a moderate resort. We want to try a deluxe this time, but it can be very expensive. Is there a particular favorite that has value for a deluxe? Is there any way to get the room night down to under $400? Thanks, David. David, this is one of those questions that I always try to get our partners at Destinations to Travel to answer. They know the Disney hotels, so I know I could give you my answer, but I want to give a little bit different opinion. And this one comes from Chris Boyer. I'm trying to get this off of here. I can't get pages apart. This is what Chris Boyer, one of the agents, really good. He's a really good guy, really good agent at Destinations to Travel. They're all good agents. But here's what Chris says. Hi, David. Like you, I stayed at both value and moderate resorts before trying a deluxe. While they can be a bit pricey, I really enjoy the amenities offered at deluxe resorts. When you're looking at value, the question really becomes, what exactly are you looking to get out of your resort? The Beach Club, Boardwalk, and Yacht Club are all located within walking distance of Epcot and Hollywood Studios, making your trips to the parks quick and painless. The nightlife at the Boardwalk is a ton of fun, and the restaurants at the Yacht Club and the Beach Club are among the best on property, in my opinion. If you would like the monorail and easy access to the Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary, the Polynesian, or the Grand Floridian may be your best bet. They offer a ton of amenities and some great dining. For a great view of the Savannah or quick access to Animal Kingdom, Animal Kingdom Lodge is a great choice. Lastly, Old Key West and Saratoga Springs offer large rooms and great theming with quick access to Disney Springs. The deluxe resort are also locations that offer some great savings during the promotions. For example, the current Gift of Magic room offers you to book a Disney Boardwalk Inn for an average of $448.75 plus tax when you're staying February 18th through February 24th. That's a nice savings over the normal rate of $598.33. That's a lot of money. Plus tax per night. Yeah, over $600 a night for for the deluxe resorts on the boardwalk. That's the Boardwalk Inn. If you add 5-day tickets, your family of 4 can stay at the boardwalk for $4,500. Anyway. So it's kind of hard to get those hotels down under $400 a night. What I will say is he left one of the hotels out, one of the deluxe resorts. He mentioned all but one, and it's probably the one, if you want to stay under $400 a night, depending on when you go, the one I would recommend, and that it would be the Wilderness Lodge. The Wilderness Lodge has boat service to the Magic Kingdom, deluxe resort, nice amenities. It's just a nice hotel. Now, it's not real convenient, but it is a beautiful, beautiful place to stay. And that's probably it. And the Animal Kingdom Lodge, you can probably get your prices down under $400 a night most of the year. Now, if you want to go Christmas week, maybe not. But most of the year, I would say either the Animal Kingdom or the Wilderness Lodge, whichever fits what you like to do better. The bottom line is it's all about what you want, what feels best for you. Some of the discounts will get you some significant savings, but it's what you feel most comfortable with, which hotel you feel the most comfortable with. All right, here we go. We got like 3 more. I'm going to hurry up here. The next few are kind of quick answers, but here we go. We are planning a 1-day trip to Magic Kingdom visit for our 4-year-old daughter. We're based in Tampa, and we'll be driving to Disney early in the morning of March 6th. We have tickets for an 8 a.m. breakfast at the castle. The plan is to park at the Magic Kingdom in the morning, do breakfast, enjoy the park around 2:30 to 3, drive to the Art of Animation, check in, relax, do some pools on the grounds, and then dinner at the Magic Kingdom and stay for the evening fireworks. Is that a feasible plan? We will be able to leave the Magic Kingdom and return. Will we be able to leave the Magic Kingdom and return later the same day without paying another admission? Okay, Louise, and that was Louise in Ottawa, Canada, by the way. Louise, congratulations. That sounds like a beautiful day for your daughter. I don't know that there's anything on your plan that I would change. Great way to start the day. Just relax, have fun, spend some time in Fantasyland, doing what she likes. Just a great, great plan. As to, can you go out of the park and come back in? Absolutely. Unless you have a special ticket. There are a couple of special tickets where you can't do that. But a normal ticket, yeah, you can go in and out of the same park as many times during the day as you want. You can just go out, come back in, go out, come back in out. That deal. But anyway, so yeah, no problem. The bottom line is, sounds like you have a great plan. You're going to have great fun. And don't worry about going in and out of the parks. You can do it as long as you're going to the same park. If you had a park hopper pass, you could go to any park. But if you're just going in and out of the same park, absolutely. All right, I'm going to take a little break and take a little drink and see if I can get this frog in my throat to go away. Excuse me. I probably should have gotten that away from the microphone. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, that was me. All right, here we go. Next question. This one comes from Nick in Illinois. I got 2 more, and then we'll get to your questions. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments, and we'll get to them here in just a minute. I lied. I got 3. Had a lot of questions this week. Hi, Dad. We are staying at the Polynesian Village Resort and planning to go to the Magic Kingdom on December 29th. 2017. Extra magic hours are from 7 to 8 that day. When will the monorail start up? And do you think we'd have enough time to get on the monorail and be at the park with enough time to get in good position on Main Street before the park opens for extra magic hours? Thanks. Nick, yeah. The Magic Kingdom, the monorail, the Magic Kingdom loop on normal days will start 2 hours before official park opening. Now, that's before at this point, the 8 o'clock time on that day. 8 o'clock official park opening date. So they'll start at 6. So 6 gives you an hour to get on the monorail, get around to the Magic Kingdom, get in the park. And since you go through security there at the Polynesian now, Absolutely, you'll have plenty of time to get to Main Street, even do a little shopping on Main Street, and be in a good position when the park opens. Yeah, that's not a factor. The bottom line is, yeah, it's very easy to do. 7 o'clock, you should be able to get, 6 o'clock, you should be able to get on the monorail, sleepy time, wiping the sleep out of your eyes, and enjoy. Should work fine. All right, here we go. Next question. Let's see. I'm going to skip that Christmas music. We're running out of time. So I'm going to skip the extra Christmas music. It's Karen Carpenter. By the way, we talked about it earlier. We've got a playlist with all of our songs that we're using today. So on our YouTube channel, go like our YouTube channel. I see we've gotten a few new subscribers already today. Here we go. This one's from Mary in Pittsburgh. Hi, Dad. We're arriving in Orlando on Christmas Day around 5:15. We are staying at the Art of Animation. Others in our party are arriving at 6:30. We have dinner reservations at 8:20 at the Grand Floridian. Question. Are minivans operating at the Art of Animation? And if not, can you still use regular, non-minivan, Lyft, etc. to get a ride from Art of Animation to the Grand Floridian? Mary, like we talked about earlier, minivans are not running at the value resorts. I don't see that happening before Christmas. Christmas Day, I gotta say, about your plan to come in and eat at 8:20 on Christmas Day at the Grand Floridian, I'd be really nervous about that, especially coming in at 5:20. Okay, let's answer your question first. Lyft, yes. Uber, yes. Taxis, yes. All of those are available to get you from the Art of Animation to the Grand Floridian. No problem. About your plan of getting to I'm going to start with you landing at 5:20. So 5:20, you're going to have your pick up your luggage. If you've got luggage, picking up your luggage. So you're talking about probably around 6 o'clock if the airplane's on time, which on Christmas Day is probably a pretty big if. 6 o'clock, you've got your luggage and you're ready to go down to Magical Express or rent a car or whatever you're going to do to get to Disney World. If you're using Magical Express, that takes an hour to 2 hours depending on how it works. So you're talking about not even getting to Magical Express till at least 6 o'clock, and then getting on the bus, getting full. The last time I took Magical Express, this was during kind of a slow time of year. It took almost 2 hours to get Magical Express to the hotel. The buses will fill quicker during Christmas, but you're going to find it's a 35-40 minute drive from the airport to Disney World. So you've got another 45 minutes to a minimum of an hour. So now we're at 7 o'clock. So for you, if everything runs on time, you'll be getting into the Art of Animation about 7. So you go to your room, 7 o'clock, you might be able to get over to the Grand Floridian by 8:20. Now that's if everything goes on schedule. And remember, you're going to pay $10 a person if you don't show up. So the other group arriving at, what did you say, 6:30, there's pretty well no way unless they take Uber or something from the airport directly to the Grand Floridian. They're not going to be able to, maybe if they have a rental car, they're going to have to go directly to the Grand Floridian if everything is on time. So the bottom line is, I don't think this is a good idea. We don't make reservations on travel day. We just don't. We don't make ADRs unless we've got a flight in that arrives before noon. We don't. We have done a Merry Christmas party one time, but I usually try not to make reservations on travel day just because things go wrong, especially if I'm getting there that late. I would not make reservations in the evening, arriving after 4 p.m. I just wouldn't. Too many things can go wrong. That is a huge travel day into Orlando. Things could easily go wrong, and it'll cost you $10 a person. All right, that's it. Last question. Here we go, and then we'll get to your questions. Ooh, boy. I promise. Here we go. Last one from Corella. I'm not going to play the Corella DeVille song. Can you go directly to the outdoor bar without waiting to go inside Grotto? Now, she's talking about the Trader Sam's bar. The bar is called the Tiki Terrace. I was going to play the Tiki Room song, but time better not. So, Tiki Room. Corella, yes, absolutely. You can go to the bar. You don't have to go in. You can order from the bar right there on the Tiki Terrace. No problem. It's just, yes, you can do that. Absolutely. All right. So, your questions. All right. We've only got 3. But last call for questions. If you have a question, put them in now because I'm going to cut them off once I answer these 3 questions. All right. Lana asks, I know you get a wristband from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, but do you need anything besides your Magic Band to get your wristband? We will be at the Magic Kingdom the whole day. Do we wait until after we are in the park to get the wristband? Lana, you probably can do it with your Magic Band. There have been problems with Magic Bands and the parties. I would take paper. Paper is always a good thing to have. I would print my reservation out, on my ticket out, and take it. There are some of the tickets that you gotta take with you, and this is one you take with you. Take your paper tickets. About 4 o'clock, they will start handing out wristbands. Right at about 4 o'clock. So they'll have a party entrance. If you're coming into the park at 4 o'clock, they have a special entrance for party guests. And so while, yes, they'll know by your wristband, I'd also take the paper and look for the people handing out the wristbands. They have them located. If you're already in the park, you can go up to the front and get them at the party entrance. But you can also, there are a couple of them, they're stationed around the park. I know there was one in Tomorrowland when we did this a couple of years ago. So you get your wristbands in the afternoon around 4 and after when the party, not officially, but unofficially begins. All right, next question. Aaron says, hey, Dad, we'll be at Disney during Christmas. Congratulations, my favorite time of the year. We are celebrating my daughter's first birthday. Any recommendations for a must-do celebrate that a 1-year-old will enjoy? We also have 3 boys. Aaron, it's been so long since I had a 1-year-old. Let's see, say 26 years ago. The man-child's 27, almost, or 28. So I don't have a lot of experience with this. 1-year-old is kind of tough because, Dumbo, they don't quite have the experience, depending if they're just 1 or if they're almost 2 1-year-old. It's a big difference in that time frame. So the almost 2-year-olds will really enjoy some stuff. The just 1-year-olds, maybe not so much. So what does she enjoy? What does she like to do? Or does she like to go on things like Dumbo where there's a little action? Is she going to snuggle or is she going to get afraid when she sees the characters? You just kind of figure out, your daughter. I don't know her. You know what she's going to want to do. Is it playing in the splash pads, playing in the water if it's warm enough? That might be the best thing you can do. It's like the kid at Christmas. You get them this great Christmas present. They want to play with the box. So it might be as simple as just letting them play in the splash pad, play in the pool. But find what she's going to like and do that. That's the best advice I can give you. All right, last question. We're going to wrap this up. Stephanie asks, Disney recommends allowing 90 minutes of travel time to the Magic Kingdom from Magic Kingdom to Disney Springs. Is this really necessary? We will be there on December 11th. Well, it kind of depends on how you're going. It's a 10-minute drive. I can tell you that. I was just there, and our hotel was just down by Disney Springs. So I know how long it takes. It's about a 10, 12, 15-minute drive, depending on the traffic. But the question is, are you going to have to wait for a bus? Are you going to have to take a bus, depending on when you want to go to a resort, change buses, and then go to Disney Springs? I did this several years ago, was at the Magic Kingdom, and at that time there was no direct buses to Disney Springs from Magic Kingdom. I can't remember if that's still true. But from the Magic Kingdom, you had to go to a resort and then go to Disney Springs. Well, I picked to go to Old Key West. It was a bad choice. If you're going to do this, you go to a value resort where they have lots of buses all the time. So I had to wait for the Old Key West bus. Got on the Old Key West bus, went to Old Key West, had to go several stops all the way around the resort to the main, and got off at the main. This was dark, so I couldn't see. Oh man, it's just right over there. I'll get off at the first stop and walk over. So I went all the way around, got off at and then waited and waited and waited for the Disney Springs bus. It took me over an hour and a half to get to Disney Springs. So yeah, 90 minutes is not out of the question. So is that crazy? No, it's not crazy. Is that out of the ordinary? Absolutely. You can probably get there between 30 and 45 minutes. I would budget 90 minutes though. I would allow that time, depending on where you are in the Magic Kingdom. If you're back in the back at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, 5-6 minutes to get out of the park, going over to the buses, it could take a while. But 90 minutes is an extreme example, but it's not an out of bounds example. It could take 90 minutes. All right. Whew. That was a lot. We got through a lot. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. I really do. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I know we did. We had the kids here. It was just a great Thanksgiving. I hope you tuned in Monday night. We had a show Monday night. There was really, really a lot of fun Monday night. I want to say thanks to Celebration Shirts for sponsoring today's Lunch with Dad. Don't forget, you can get a $100 Disney gift card by putting in a reservation getting your reservation for any time in 2018 between now and Monday. So get those requests in, fill out that form over on our page. The link is down below. And buy Dad's book. All right. Yeah, buy Dad's book. Buy subliminal advertising. Buy Dad's book. Buy Dad's book. Buy Dad's book. All right. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching Dad's video. For more simple, fun, magic Walt Disney World information, go to Dad's Guide to WDW.com. You can do that by clicking the I button that's popping up on the screen right now. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and get more Dad's YouTube videos with Daditude.